Zero-based budgeting has been around for a long time, but has become more and more popular, you could say, in recent years. Actually, the concept is rather simple. Every dollar of revenue must be justified by a dollar of expense. This type of budgeting can be used in businesses of all sizes and in our personal day-to-day budgets. Today I'm excited to discuss zero-based budgeting, including what it is, how to make one that fits your needs, and make sure to stick around for the pros and cons at the end. Okay, so for starters, what is ZBB, or zero-based budgeting? So the aim of this budgeting approach is to ensure that every dollar in the budget is allocated towards achieving specific objectives or expense, savings, and investing categories. Think of it as a fresh start approach for each month, which requires every expense to be approved anew rather than simply carrying over previous budget amounts. If there's a surplus of income coming in each month, we really should have a plan for how to allocate that money, right? Let me illustrate with an example for you here. If your income, let's say, is $4,000 and your expenses are $2,000, then you should have this surplus of $2,000, right? You can then direct $1,000 into your saving account and $1,000 into your investment accounts. Of course, not everybody may have that much money laying around, but still, it's just the idea and this principle to keep in mind. So you could say that the key takeaway is that you have an exact plan for how every single dollar will be used to improve your financial future. To better understand how zero-based budgeting works, let's explore an example, shall we? Let's say that you have a monthly budget of $500 for groceries. In a zero-based budget, you would start with that $500 and allocate every dollar to specific items based on your needs and wants. So your budget breakdown might look a little bit like this. $200 for essentials like food, toiletries, etc. $100 for eating out. $50 for coffee. $50 for snacks. $100 for household supplies. Remember that even if you plan where your money goes each month, it's still crucial to understand basic financial principles. Please do not go into further consumer debt with your surplus of income. And if we don't build up an emergency fund and invest, then things may not turn out well in the long run. Let's explore ways to make a zero-based budget and dive deeper into the pros and cons of this budgeting system. The first step to making a zero-based budget is to track your spending for some time so you have a clear idea of where your money goes each month. You can do this by looking at your bank and credit card statements or using a budgeting app. Once you've identified those spending patterns, you need to set some goals for your zero-based budget. Do you want to save more money, pay off debt, spend less on non-essentials, put more away into investment accounts? After setting those specific goals, it's time to allocate your income to different categories. Let's say your income is $3,000 a month, housing $800 with rent, mortgage, utilities, and insurance, transportation at $200, car payment, gas, public transportation. Then food at $500, let's say groceries, eating out, debt payments at $400, student loans, credit cards, saving and investing at $200, personal spending $200 for clothes, entertainment, etc. As you can see in this example, every dollar in the monthly budget has been allocated to a specific category. Another important tip to keep in mind is that a zero-based budget is not static. Just like any other type of budget, friends, it will need to be adjusted from time to time as your income and expenses will change. Finally, do not forget to give yourself some wiggle room in this budget. No one is perfect, and there will be months where you overspend in one category or another. It's okay, just learn from your mistakes. Track that important data so you can improve moving forward. Let's jump into the pros of zero-based budgeting. There are a plethora of benefits to using a zero-based budget. First, it forces us to think about every expense and whether or not it is vital. This can help us cut down on unnecessary spending and save so much more money. Second, it helps align spending with our goals and priorities. When we know our goals, it is easier to choose where to allocate our resources. Another benefit of zero-based budgeting is that it can help you pay off debt faster. More of your money can be consciously dedicated to paying off unnecessary consumer debt. When everything is mapped out for you and you have this plan for your money, it is easier to stay on top of your finances and avoid financial stress. Finally, zero-based budgeting can help us save more money by thinking about and putting our future first. We are developing this delayed gratification. This can be a difficult concept for many of us, but it is important if we want to be successful with money. Now let's switch to the cons of zero-based budgeting. While there are many advantages to using this budgeting method, there are also some challenges that we should be aware of. First, it can be time-consuming to track every single expense and ensure that it is accounted for in our budgets. This is especially true, and I understand, with inflation and rising consumer costs. Second, it can be difficult to stick to a zero-based budget if you have irregular income or expenses. This is because a zero-based budget works best when we know exactly how much money we have to work with. Without this information, obviously it becomes much easier to overspend or underspend in certain categories. Another potential downside to zero-based budgeting is that it could become difficult to stick to in the long run. It requires a lot of discipline and self-control. If you are not used to this method of tracking your spending, it can become easy to let your budget slip. Okay, so zero-based budgeting is a powerful tool that can help us save money and reach our financial goals faster. However, it's important to be aware of some potential challenges that we may face when using this method. If you're willing to put in the time and effort, this type of budget can greatly improve your financial situation. If you're looking for ways to build wealth and take dominion over your finances, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one to come shortly.